Welcome to Storytime Slots. In this video, we're discussing the 2026 gambler's tax situation. I did a video on this, but this is part 2. In this video, I'm going to talk to you guys about how you should deal with this as a gamer, gambler, slot player. I'm going to give you some advice. There's a lot of people left me comments worried about the situation, not really clear about what's going on, how to handle this situation. I decided I have to make this video, okay, to make it a little more clear. First of all, you may not know, in 2026, things are about to change when it comes to your handpays, the W2 forms that you get for the IRS, claiming, deducting your losses in your taxes. Okay, when you get a handpay, you get a W2 form. You got to present that to your accountant at the end of the year, and he works his magic. Things are about to change, guys. You cannot deduct 100% of your losses, even though you lost more than you won. Guys, I hate this. It sucks. I understand. I really hate this. I hope somebody reverses this law. Okay? It doesn't really make sense. How are we supposed to pay taxes on something that we didn't really win at the end of the day? You know, we didn't win. It's like it doesn't exist. But new laws, the government, the IRS, they want their share. It doesn't matter. In their eyes, you got to pay 90%. You can deduct your losses, but that 10%, you're on the hook. In this video, I'm going to tell you how to deal with this, okay? There's a simple answer to this. I know, again, like I said, a lot of you guys are angry. You don't know how to deal with this. Should I even go to a casino? First of all, take a deep breath, guys. Calm down. I'm going to explain it to you, okay? Now, there's a simple answer to this, but it takes discipline, it takes control, self-control, and you'll, walk out of this like nothing happened, okay? Of course, you're going to lose some money. See, a lot of people are worried, They hit these handpays at the end of the year. It's like they lose more than they win. And why should they have to pay 10%, right? I totally get it. Here's a few things that you could do to handle this situation as a gambler, guys. You play the slots, you get W2 forms, okay? You hit a jackpot, you get W2 forms. It is what it is. Even some of these the table games, if you hit a progressive on, Ultimate Texas Hold'em, you get these W2 forms. If you're worried, guys, here's the number one thing that you should practice in 2026 to help you with this situation. Every handpay that you get, okay? And by the way, you know this. I made a video on it. In 2026, also the handpay threshold is going up, so it's no longer $1,200. It's $2,000. The number one thing us gamblers should do, and this requires a lot of, discipline, okay, willpower, is every handpay you get, make a record of it, right? Know where you're at, and, are you ready for this? And do the deductions by yourself, put it in an envelope, or better yet, open a separate bank account. Every handpay that you get. Now, again, this requires a little bit of work. Deposit that amount into that new account so at the end of the year you were ready to pay the taxes. Deposit that money into the account, every handpay that you get, okay? And don't touch it. Don't touch it. Doesn't matter if don't have a bankroll and you want to go gamble. This requires discipline, and it's very important on your part. If you break it, you'll destroy yourself. I know it's hard. As gamers, I know we need fun sometimes. We want to go gamble, right? Very important never to touch this account. This is for your taxes, so you're not stuck at the end of the year owing the IRS money where you can't afford to pay. Again, guys, I know it sucks, but this is how to deal with it. I hope they reverse this stupid rule. It's stupid. It's called phantom taxation. Okay, that's what it's called. It doesn't exist. Now, if you're one of those players that hit something and you actually made money, fine, right? But majority of us, we end up losing. Let's say you hit a handpay, right? $2,000 handpay. From that $2,000, take 20% of that winnings and deposit it into your new tax bank account. All right, 20%. Just hear me out real quick. I know some of you guys suggested that I'll just have the casino deduct the 25%. No, don't do that. Don't give them money that you probably don't have to right now. Just in case, deposit that 20 to 25% in that account, because at the end of the year, chances are you're going to have losses. You can claim up to 90%. So all you have to do is pay taxes on that 10% instead of giving the casino the full 25% of the taxes. Why do that? So there is chances that you can still deduct up to 90%. You hear me? So you don't really need to give the casino 25%. You manage your own, because your accountant is going to do his magic, and you might not be on the hook for that full 25% that you were thinking about giving to the casino right away. You might just be on the hook for 10% of that hand pay. Make sure you do that, guys. I know what you're thinking. In the casino, in the heat of the battle, you win a hand pay, you're down, you win a hand pay, and then you end up getting a couple more hand pays. At the end of the night, you didn't win anything. How can I take that 20% and put it into my account? The only answer I have for you is you're just gonna have to. Just pretend you gave it to the casino. This is not your money to lose anymore, guys. I know it sucks. What can we do? But it is what it is, right? It is what it is. So my suggestion, if you're in the heat of the battle of the casino, every paper that you get, 20% should put on the side. The next morning, go to your bank in your new account and just deposit those 20% of that paper, of that W-2 form. Makes sense, guys? That's the only solution I see that won't give you a problem at the end of the year. You'll have that money. Every hand pay you get, you'll have that money to fall back on. Hey, if your accountant says, hey, you lost more than you won, we're going to tax you on 10%. Well, you put 20% in this account. So you're going to actually end up having a lot of money. If you're an avid gambler, a slot player, you're going to actually have a lot of money to fall back on. You're going to see a check. Actually, you're going to see something that you forgot about. Forget about this bank account, guys. You don't have this bank account. Pretend. You don't fall back on it. You need groceries. Don't fall back on this account. This is not that type of account. This is for your taxes. Don't get in trouble here, guys. This is very important. Okay? So your account says you're only on the hook for 10%, but you don't actually pay that whole 10%. You get taxed in your state 30%. What is it? Federal? What is it? 25%? 30%? 30 or 25% of that 10%, right? Real quickly, guys, if it's $10,000 that you won the whole year, you're only on the hook for $1,000. That's 10%, and you're getting taxed on that $1,000. So you don't really pay the whole $1,000. You pay 25 or 30% of that $1,000. So that's $300, right? $250 to $300. So for every $10,000 you win, you'll probably be on the hook for $250 or $300. Keep that in mind. At the end of the year, you're going to see your account grow. You're going to have money to start fresh. That's the main option I want to give you guys on this video. I'm going to do that. I don't want to owe the IRS money. Okay, I know it sucks. Somebody should reverse this. Second thing you can do is not gamble at all. Hey, it is what it is. If you're worried about this, and if you think this is too much work for you to actually manage, don't gamble at all. What can I tell you? Until something changes. Then you don't have to worry about none of this, okay? The third option, this sometimes works, it sometimes doesn't. Try to manage how much your hand pays are. There is a way of doing this, right, guys? I've been playing slot machines long enough to tell you that I know pretty much how much a hand pay is going to be generally. If you bet $5 spins on Dragon League, for example, it's very hard to get a hand pay over $2,000 unless you hit like a major, in a high limit room, or you hit a grand. And in that case, you pay the taxes. Kind of manage where your hand pays are at. I know a lot of us, we get $1,500 hand pays, $1,400, $1,200, $1,600, $1,800. So you pretty much know how to bet, what machines to bet on. That's another strategy you can use to never get a hand pay, right? Another strategy you can use, don't play slot machines. Play table games, blackjack, where it's chips, poker. As long as you don't hit the bad beat jackpot in poker, you'll be fine. It's just chips, so blackjack's just chips. That's another thing you can figure out. Very important to understand how this works. Yes, we're getting a threshold bump of $2,000, but sometimes that's not going to be enough, because we're going to end up hitting 5,000, 10,000 hand pays. If the gambling gods want us to hit those hand pays, I'll gladly be sure to put that 20% away and never touch it. And guys, again, you won't be on the hook if you lose more than you win. You won't be on the hook for that whole 20%. But just in case, keep it in your account, because you might hit something huge, and then your win-loss statement will, the wins will go like this and the losses will go like this, and then you'll really be on the hook for everything. So always put that 20, just to be safe, 25% away, in an account, just in case you hit that big ass grand and you're really on the hook for everything. So that's my advice. Hopefully it made it clear. I made this clear. I know it's a lot to digest. I know we like to play. We're not really, some of us, we just like to play. A lot of gamblers, a lot of slot players are, older, and, you might not be a math expert, and this whole thing might confuse you and what's going on. So I'm here to make things easy for you guys, right? Always put that 25% away, because you might hit something big, and your win-loss levels, the wins might go like this, they might spike, your losses will go way down, and you owe the money, you owe the whole money, to 25%. There's no way you can deduct losses anymore, because you're a positive winning gambler at the end of the year. So always make sure, have that insurance policy of that bank account. If you're one of those players that never gets a hand pay and you continue to play the same way, fine. And if one day the gambling gods give you that big ass jackpot, then you'll gladly be sure, and you don't want to mess with all this bank account, getting this, getting that, fine. You're once in a million jackpot winner. When I say jackpot, I mean hand pay winner. Then have the casino just take it away. And if there's casinos, I guess I didn't know this, but there's casinos that actually don't take the funds, the 25%. That's weird, because I never came across casinos like that. Let me know, is there casinos that really don't take 25% away if you requested it? That's kind of weird. Maybe they don't want to do more paperwork than they should, right? This is a mess, guys. I mean, my opinion is, why should we get, taxed again on, the money that we spend on gambling is already taxed money. We already pay taxes in our checks. We work for the money. It's not their money, it's our money. And we lose more than they win. So why should we get taxed? I totally get it. I understand the situation. But it is what it is. My theory on why they did this, I mean, there's lobbyists, lobbyists always lobby for corporations, and I have a theory on this. Let me know if you think this is right. Wow, who came up with this? Why are you messing with us? What are we doing? Why gamblers? Why are you messing with us, right? The whole theory I have on this is, maybe the corporations lobbied, the casinos lobbied against the online gaming community. Some of these online casinos are overseas, and they just want to crack down on them, and they introduced this kind of new bill that puts pressure on gamblers. I have no idea why. Maybe it's crypto, maybe it's the online casinos, maybe it's the Indian reservations. I don't think so. Maybe the corporations in Las Vegas spend money on lobbying. But why would Las Vegas do this? Because of the lost revenue? Maybe they're trying to do some damage on these Indian reservations. I mean, how does that make sense? I just don't understand why this bill was even written in the first place. It doesn't help anybody out. It doesn't make sense. It's all phantom taxation, and it's no good. I hope it gets reversed. I hate it, but it is what it is. If you're still gonna go and gamble, this is my pastime. This is my hobby. I'm not gonna let some stupid bill, change the way I live my life. If I have to make some, maneuvering, if I have to be a little more disciplined, if I have to be a disciplined gambler with my money, then I will. I don't want any surprises at the end, guys. Things happen in life. Never touch that account that you open up for your taxes. Always ask your professional accountant any questions you might have, because there's certain things that I might not know. This is the point of view of a slot player. This is what the information that I read online, and I'm giving you this in this video. So, but detailed tax advice, talk to an accountant. All right, we'll see what happens next year, but starting in 2026, handpays are going up, and you're on the hook for 10% of the handpay that you get, meaning you're not going to pay 10%, but you will get taxed on that 10% if you lost more than you want. Does that make sense? I know it's a mouthful, but it is what it is. Anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching Storytime Slots. What's your story? Having fun on this channel. Like, subscribe, share, and comment. If you have any gambling buddies that are unaware of this rule, this new bill, share this video with them, because they want to hear. I mean, you don't want to go into this new year in the dark with blindfolds on, guys, because coming in 2027, time to do your taxes before April 15th in America, right? You don't want to get surprised. You don't want to get shocked. I had a question on in the comments. Somebody asked me, well, what if you're a tourist? What if you're visiting a casino? What happens then? If you're visiting a casino, right, and you're not a resident here, you will automatically get deducted 25%. The casino will automatically take that away no matter what. It's you don't even, with or without your approval. Some people win, oh, I want 10,000. How come I'm getting 7,500? You're a tourist here. You're visiting here. You're not a permanent resident of this country. So that's the answer to that. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. I'm Vahagan. This is Storytime Slots, and we'll see you on the next video. I love it, guys. Thanks for the support, the comments, the love, the likes, the thumbs up. Give me one of these, and let's spread this video. Let's make this video go viral, because gamblers really need to see this. See this video. We'll see you on the next one, guys. Rock and roll.